So we're going to be looking at the interchange stash locations. Now what we're going to do this time is go around the map in an anti-clockwise direction, and we're going to be numbering the stashes 1 through 19. Start off from the Emicon checkpoint, which is where we are now. We're going to run all the way along until we get to the Scav checkpoint. Follow that road up. We're going to go by the railway extract, and we'll come back upon ourselves, go to the power station, and then finally come back to the Emicon extract. Now this is a full loop of the map, which you wouldn't normally do in Raid. You'd only do half of this because you'd extract at either the Emicon, railway, or maybe even the power station if you want to pay to get out there. But what this will show you is that there are routes that you can do which can be quite profitable, especially if at this point in the wipe you've run out of money, maybe you're getting killed all the time and you desperately need to get some gear. This is a perfect thing to do with just a pistol, chest rig, come in at night, pick yourself up some loot. Now each of the stashes are going to be bookmarked, so if you need to jump to a specific stash you can do that, or you can follow us around and we'll get all 19 of them in one go. So for stash number 1, we are near the Emicon extract, as you can see here. We have the flags on the roundabout in the middle, and you have the ramp which goes up to the back of Ollie. And just out here you have these grey rocks which sit in the field, and right in between here you have stash number 1. Now for stash number 2 you're looking for this burnt out campsite with the boxes just on the side here, and for a reference you are just by the side of the Ollie ramp here. We have the flags and the roundabout just behind us, and you should run into this bush to the left of these boxes right here. Go through the bush and you'll find your stash. Now for stash number 3 we're in the same location. Stash number 2 is right there in that bush. You're going to cross the campsite and heading for this box which is covered in a green tarp, and you want to be going right here for your stash number 3. For stash number 4 we've followed the blue fence all the way along. We've come from 2 and 3 which are over there, and you can see we're nearer the front of Ollie now, and you have this trailer park here. What you're looking for is this bush, and here is your stash. For stash number 5 you want to be passing the burning barrel, and you want to be heading down through these trees, and you'll see 2 trees sat right next to each other, and then just between them you have stash number 5. For stash number 6 we continue our run until we get to the bottom corner of the map. This is at the opposite bottom corner to where the Emicon checkpoint is. As you can see we have the sign there with a roundabout just beneath it, and stash number 6 is right here on the ground. For stash number 7 we're now at the front of the Ollie store, right next to the big sign on the roundabout. I'm going to be looking for this tree right here, and the stash is directly in front of it here. For stash number 8 we are pretty much right opposite the front doors of Ollie, and we're heading up to the walls of the Scav checkpoint. We're not quite passing it, just heading up to it, and you can see you got the barrel stash right here on the ground. For the next stash, stash number 9, we want to be coming to the top end of the Scav checkpoint. As you see we come through that here, we've got opposite Ultra and Idea, and we're coming through this broken bit of fence. Now there are 5 stashes in this area. We'll start with the first one, which is number 9, which is directly in front of us here. As you come up to this tree, you can see where we are. You have this stash on the ground right here. For stash number 10, we're heading down from number 9, which is back there. We head towards this campsite you can see in the distance there, and there is a barrel stash just here before you get to that campsite. As we move along to stash number 11, you're looking for this rubble, which is opposite the front of the train, and you want to be heading for this barrel stash, which you can see right here. Now for stash number 12, what we're going to be looking for is a dinosaur on the wall. You want to follow the dinosaur to the first bush which you see against the wall, which is over here, and this will take you to stash number 12. For stash number 13, continue following the wall from 12 until you get to this pile of rubble, and you want to be looking for a barrel stash which is hidden in between, right here. At this point you could extract out if you were doing a run just for loot, and you go straight out of the railway extract here, and that is you done, but we will continue round for number 14. For stash number 14, we've come from the railway extract, which is back over that way, crossed over this highway here. What we're doing is we're heading under this bridge, and we're going to need to crouch down in order to get to the stash number 14. So as you come under the bridge, you can see it just here in the rubble. As you can see, you can't walk to it, so you need to crouch in order to get to this one. Now for stash number 15, we're outside Idea, and we're next to the go-kart track. As you can see here, we've got the railway spawn behind us there. And what we're looking for is this blue fence with the shack in it, and you want to be looking for this stash on the ground right here. For stash number 16, we're still outside Idea. This time we're inside the go-kart track, and you're heading for the big bush right in the middle, and you want to be going through to the other side of the bush. You can see you have the stash just poking out the other side here. For stash number 17, we're at the side of Idea this time. You can see you have the big sign which is on top of the hill. You want to be onto the other side of the hill near the top of the map. And between these black rocks here, you have another barrel stash. Stash number 18 brings us to the power plant. You've got your vehicle extract just up here, the end of this road. What you're doing is going over here, passing this white minibus, and you're going into the corner for your next barrel stash. Now for stash number 19 and the final stash on this run, we're out the back of Idea and we're at the opposite end of the power station to the previous stash. And what you're going to do is come into the broken fence, follow it around to the dead end, and you'll find that there is a cache in the ground right here. So that gives us all 19 stashes on Interchange. And this just goes to show that despite Interchange not being the latest and newest map, it still does have a lot of loot to offer. Let me know down in the comments what you found on this stash and what was the coolest item you've managed to find. If you do any 0 to hero runs where you start off with nothing and come out with everything, I want to know about that too. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you in Tarkov.